We first have an update from the FDA. They released a statement recently about news around COVID-19 and potentially needing a booster shot for anybody that has been vaccinated so far. So recently the FDA released a statement that explained how the effects of the vaccine on protecting the body from COVID-19 diminish over time, and that eventually we'll need a booster shot or around 8 months after your second dose or so. And I'll read a little excerpt from the FDA statement so that you all can visualize what's going on here. So it says, the available data make it very clear that protection against SARS-CoV-2 infection begins to decrease over time following the initial dose of vaccination. And in association with the dominance of the Delta variant, we are starting to see evidence of reduced protection against mild and moderate disease. For that reason, we conclude that a booster shot will be needed to maximize vaccine-induced protection and prolong its durability. We are prepared to offer booster shots for all Americans beginning the week of September 20th and starting 8 months after an individual second dose. We would also begin efforts to deliver booster shots directly to residents of long-term care facilities at that time, given the distribution of vaccines to this population early in the vaccine rollout and the continued increased risk that COVID-19 poses to them. So 8 months after second dose means that a lot of first responders and frontline workers are up for this shot.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
Like right now is when they would pretty much need it.
Yeah, a lot of police officers, nurses, doctors, anyone that's worked on the front lines with COVID, you'll
Just
probably
the
be
first round of shots.
Right, yeah. Whoever got the first round of shots, as well as, and they said in here, they had a longer statement, but the part that I read, it will also be people that are in long-term care facilities, so your old people, all the elderly people. This is not necessarily the biggest news story, but seeing as it's already been hard to get people to take their first and second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, how do you think we're going to get people to take a third?
I do not think it's going to go over well, especially the population that was reluctant to get the first and second doses but did. And we have so much rhetoric surrounding people talking about natural immunity for those that have already gotten COVID.
Right.
The difference is we don't know how long natural immunity lasts.
Yeah.
There are no trials. There are no way of us knowing. But we do know how long the vaccine immunity lasts.
Yeah.
And if we can get a significant portion of the population, what is it, above 75% to that, we will see a reduction in spread and thus a reduction of mutations.
Yeah. And we're just not there yet.
I know. Oh it's so frustrating, though, because people say, oh, why do we need boosters? Then the vaccine doesn't work because people just don't have a scientific understanding.
Right.
You don't even need a scientific understanding to like, know what's going on. You just need to just listen to the FDA.
Right. And I think we are getting closer to full-blown FDA approval of the vaccines.
I've seen some people say on Twitter, so it could just be fucking hearsay.
Cap.
Yeah, it's probably just cap that vaccine approval, like, word around the block is that vaccine approval might come in Monday, which will be 2 days before this vaccine was posted. So we'll see if I eat shit on that one.
yeah, exactly. See, the thing is that I've seen a lot of rhetoric around, or at least from conservatives or from people that are refusing to get the vaccine, that they're not taking it because it's experimental and that the FDA hasn't given full-blown approval, which really, experimental versus full approval isn't all that different in terms of their regulations. There's not that much of a difference, and I don't think that full FDA approval is really going to change their mind.
Oh,
I think they're just using it as a talking point.
Yeah.
But taking that talking point away and also enabling governments, local governments and businesses and stuff to be able to actually mandate it, I think will be pretty useful. And that's actually is what's going to get people to get the vaccine.
And a lot of what people don't understand when it just comes to like FDA approval of anything is that FDA approval for a drug for specific use is that the the benefits of taking this drug when you have the specified disease far outweigh the negatives of any potential side effects.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't have side effects. That's why off-label use can be problematic.
Right.
That's why if we're taking something off-label, we do not know if the benefits outweigh the negatives of any potential side effects. So, bro, please get your vaccine.
Right. Also,
I'm begging. I want to go to college. I do not want to get sent home.
I was about to bring that point up, but before that, a lot of people are complaining that the FDA hasn't given full approval. The FDA doesn't give full approval of many of the vitamins that people take every single day.
They aren't approved at all.
Yeah.
They aren't regulated by the FDA.
Yeah. You don't know what's in those. Most of the time, it's just a sugar pill.
Not that you know what's in any drug that you take anytime at all.
I bet you don't know what's in your acetaminophen that you take for your headaches every single day.
Dude, I bet you don't know that Adderall is just literal meth.
Yeah. Like, people don't know what's in the things. People don't even know what's in the things that they eat every single day.
Have you seen? I've seen so many. I've seen those memes where it's like the chemical composition of an apple. Like they'll list off the regular like standard names for all the chemicals in an apple, like 3-nitrobenzate, whatever. And people are like, "Would you ingest that?" And all the comments are like, "No." It's like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, dude, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Please stop.
And I know there was this one study that I looked at or that I saw in the news, and it may have been talking about ibuprofen or maybe it was some other like pain relieving drug that had been tested less than the COVID-19 vaccines, but people use them every single day without question.
Yes.
And then people are still doubting the efficacy or the safety of the vaccines. Like, yes, there's going to be breakthrough cases, but in the scope of like 170 million Americans getting them, like a couple thousand breakthrough cases is nothing.
No,
I mean, realistically, in the grand scheme of things, you're not gonna have any adverse side effects to the vaccine. You really won't. And if you think that you will, talk to your doctor and they'll help you figure it out.
Facts. And the thing about that is the chances, because there have been reports of myocarditis related to the vaccine, but there have also been far many more reports of myocarditis related to COVID-19. So if you're out there saying you'll take your chances, it is strictly better to get the vaccine because there's a far greater chance you'll have negative outcomes with COVID-19 than you will with any vaccine.
Yeah, and there's people that are citing figures like, well, there's still a 2% chance that you could get COVID and not know about it and suffer severe consequences. It's like, but it's all about probabilities.
There's still a 100% chance that you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, when you talk about medicine, especially vaccines, it's all about probabilities. Like lowering your chances of getting a severe infection. That's the point.
And also lowering the chances of spreading that infection to other people. This is not the same thing as my body, my choice.
No.
I've seen so much of that. What's my body, my abortions aren't contagious. Getting pregnant is not contagious.
Also, the people that say that do not believe it.
Facts, like most of them.
You don't believe in bodily autonomy in the scope of the federal government. You don't believe in that. So you can't make that argument.
Frustrating, dude. It's so frustrating.
And I know that for a while there's been a debate around if we're going to need booster shots. And it seems like now with this FDA statement, it's a pretty surefire thing that we're going to need them. And we kind of already knew that, but this is really just confirmation. And I don't know how this is going to go. Yeah. You know, like I'm going to get my third dose, I guess.
I probably will, yeah.
Right, you'll get your third dose.
I'm sure it will be mandated for me at school.
Right, lots of people will get their third dose, but it's already hard enough to get people to get either one J&J shot or two of the Pfizer and Moderna shots. Like, I don't know how we get there. Look, we've been critical of the Biden administration for saying things like breakthrough cases don't happen and you'll be perfectly protected if you have the vaccine. We've been critical of them.
Incredibly.
But our criticisms are always based on what is happening in the real world. Like, we're not saying now.
Based on things the FDA come out with and the CDC come out with and the scientific community comes out with. Right.
We're advocating for the vaccine, even though we've been critical of Biden saying there's no breakthrough cases. There are breakthrough cases, but you are still much better when you get the vaccine. And we've been saying this ever since the pod started.
People who experience breakthrough cases do not experience severe disease and hospitalizations as the ones who are unvaccinated. Like, dog, it doesn't matter. Please get your shot.
It's like 98% of COVID deaths right now are among the unvaccinated people.
98% of hospitalizations in Ohio are among unvaccinated people specifically.
And look, if you're critical of the CDC because at the very beginning they said that don't wear a mask or that you shouldn't wear a mask,
you don't understand how science works.
You don't get it.
Literally.
Like, you're saying that the CDC and now Biden's administration have been wishy-washy. They haven't. They followed the science and new things that they've learned throughout this entire process.
They've not been scientific process. That's how it works. Okay, data from previous things. We weren't even like into the pandemic yet when they released a statement saying not to wear a mask because masks aren't effective.
That was in like April of 2020.
Yes. And then 2 weeks later, we studied it and we changed our position because that's how science works. Coming back to the Trump rally, he threw a little dig in there at Fauci. He said, Fauci was vehemently against masks in the beginning of the pandemic, and look at him now. He's a rampant radical masker saying to wear 15 masks. It's like, bro, that's how fucking science works. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, you get new evidence, you change your stance.
Yes.
That's how it goes.
It's an objective thing.
That doesn't make you wishy-washy.
There's no room for interpretation here.
No, not at all. And I did want to talk about schools because I've seen, at least in the state we're in, Michigan, but I'm sure elsewhere in the country, some schools are requiring vaccines for everybody. Some schools are making it optional. And this we were going to talk about places in Florida, like just high schools,
we'll talk about that later.
Or elementary schools that are being barred from mandating the vaccines.
State funds are being. Ron is threatening to withhold state funds from K through 12 schools who decide to implement a mask mandate because it violates the Parents' Bill of Rights. If you know anything about that, if you follow Florida state politics as much as I do,
I just love Florida and Texas state politics so much.
So much more interesting than Michigan.
But anyway, the point I was going to make is that there's all these schools across the country that are either mandating full vaccination or not mandating vaccines, or their state governments are not allowing them to do any kind of masking or vaccine regulations. Like, going into the fall, we're not going to get out of this pandemic.
Oh, God, no.
Like, there's just no chance if in schools where it is very crowded all the time, especially in populous areas and cities and stuff like that, especially in colleges, COVID-19 is going to be spreading at an insane rate if we are not mandating vaccines, especially at schools that are like majority commuter, when they're off campus doing whatever the fuck else. Like, we have to mandate these vaccines. Yes. At this point, I'm so sick of it. I am just for vaccine passports at this point.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we need to do it.
Me too, low-key, especially in college. It's in my best interest.
Yeah.
It's literally just in my best interest to advocate for vaccine mandates, and specifically at MSU, where I go, right? President Stanley sent us an email. We have a vaccine mandate now to be able to attend, but you can opt out of it. No. Not at MSU, at Grand Valley State University, where my girlfriend goes to college. Their president sent out an email saying that you have to have a vaccine or you can get tested once a week. That is not enough time to like detect COVID. We know now with Delta that severe symptoms manifest in 3 to 4 days rather than the 9 to 14 days that it did in the beginning of the pandemic. One test once a week is not going to catch you. Not enough time to quarantine. If you're not going to get a vaccine, get tested every day, just like what they're making the federal government employees do.
Yeah, get a stick up your nose every single day. I don't care.
And then get you a little teary-eyed.
Like, you can experience the most uncomfortable sensation in your nose that you will ever know in your life. Or get vaccinated. Take 2 weeks and get vaccinated.
So
or schools need to be allowing students to stay virtual if they really do not want to get vaccinated.
Facts.
That needs to be an option too, but I see so many colleges just getting rid of all of their virtual infrastructure that they already have when things have been virtual so far and it's been fine.
Yeah, because there are immunocompromised populations that can't get the vaccine, and with how things are going, I can guarantee that this campus is not going to be safe.
No. I'm very worried for like October time, November time, when I feel like everything's just going to have to shut down again. People are going to be refusing to get their booster shots or even their second dose of the COVID vaccine. And it's just going to be bad.
Like, I don't even know if Spartan Stadium is limiting capacity again this year.
Yeah.
That shit's disgusting on the regular. Like, everybody's on top of each other. It's going like, crazy.
I don't know. Maybe it was inevitable that we would need a booster shot even if we were hitting the numbers that we needed to for the herd immunity that the Biden administration had set. But like, we already have around 30% of the U.S. population that's either refusing to get the vaccine or there isn't the medical infrastructure in their area to get the vaccine to them. So, like, this is rough.
Big rough out
This
here.
is big rough. And
big rough.
I will note that it's mostly because of the Trump administration's mishandling of the pandemic from the very beginning. But also, there's a lot more that we could be doing that we're just not. And it's kind of just setting us up for failure going forward.
The CDC releasing their recommendation that we don't have to wear masks outside or indoors really set us back. It really set us back because now people just don't want to go back to masking, understandably, but you got to.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have to.
It's not difficult
Please. It's not hard to just wear a piece of cloth.
Look, it's going to be getting cold soon. If you're in a place that's, not in the South, it's going to be getting cold. It'll cover up your nose, keep you warm.
Yeah, you ever been outside? Your nose gets a little runny, gets a little red.
Exactly.
Like, just get rid of that. Get
Yeah,
more
and you can just
comfortable.
cover yourself
Put
up.
a
You don't got to
beanie
worry
on.
about how half of your face looks most of the time if you're at school. Like, it's good.
Shit, bro, you wake up late, you ain't even got to brush your teeth.
And you won't spread... Okay, please brush your teeth. But you won't spread COVID to people. That's the most important part.
Exactly.
It's really not that difficult. And I think all schools should be, at the very least, bare minimum, mandating that everybody wears a mask all the time.
Oh,
even if you're
100%,
vaccinated.
Yes. No,
because the honor system this summer has not worked.
No.
That has been proved. That is demonstrably true. It has not worked. And it looks like localities or state governments or the federal government is not going to institute some kind of mandate for vaccines.
Even
some kind of
Democratic
infrastructure for
governors
that.
are reluctant to implement wider mask mandates, and they're leaving it up to businesses. It's like, bro, remember, please, bro.
Or no, actually, in Michigan, the Republican legislature stripped her executive powers from her, so she
that was
can't,
a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, she can't. She can't do that kind of stuff anymore. And then she had her health department do it, and then they got even more mad about it. And now there's really just not that much guidance coming out of the state in Michigan. But like, I don't necessarily blame individuals that are confused right now about if they should wear a mask when they're vaccinated, if they shouldn't wear a mask, or things like that. I don't blame them because there's no real guidance coming from our leaders.
It all comes down to poor leadership, especially like the highest authority on medical information, like the CDC, the FDA. They're just fucking twiddling their thumbs in their offices. Yeah,
of course, our suggestion is going to be to wear a mask, but I don't blame people for being very confused right now.
And this is only going to hurt poor and minority communities, which COVID has already been disproportionately affecting.
I mean, we've known this for well over a year now, that COVID was disastrous for marginalized groups, as every crisis is. Every single crisis 100%. Hurts marginalized communities more than it hurts wealthier, whiter communities. That's just how it always goes.
Exactly.
Every single time. Like I said, I don't know if it was inevitable, but it seems like it's going to be another uphill battle to try to get people to get their third shot. Obviously, there's going to be a group of people in the country that are going to be willing and kind of biting at the bit to get their third shot, like me. I'll get it as soon as I can, as soon as it's my turn.
Yeah.
But, for all the people that have been hesitant so far or got their vaccine recently and they don't really know about getting a third shot, like, it's going to be difficult to convince those people in time for us to not have another spike in the fall.
And it's also like, while we're talking about COVID, we might as well just talk about Florida right now.
Oh, yeah.
So specifically in the Miami-Dade school district, and then another, I think the second largest school district in the state of Florida, I can't remember exactly what it's called, their school boards have voted to implement mask mandates with the recent news that Florida, I think last week or the week before, saw 1,400 deaths, bringing up the national weekly average of deaths from 146 to 212 from the state of Florida alone.
Epicenter of COVID
mind you.
in the U.S. right
Literally.
now,
If they were another country, we'd shut the borders. We would not let anyone out.
Which we should
anyway.
Yeah, keep them away.
They're not real people down there.
If you willingly live in Florida, you're insane.
100%, bro.
Crazy.
If you willingly want to be governed by Ron, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
You're insane.
I do not know what to tell you. But anyway, so the state board of education did not like that move at all, and Ron himself did not like that move. So they threatened to withdraw funding from those school districts equivalent to the salaries of each member that voted to instate a mask mandate.
Oh my goodness.
That is fucking insane. What?
That is ginormous government.
And it's literally just it's just targeting those people and making them vote the way you want to.
Yeah.
It's not electioneering, but I can't think of the fucking word.
It's just strong arm politics.
Yeah,
just
no, literally.
Strangling people for all their power.
Biden tweeted out in support of those school board members, and Ron especially did not like that, and called it a gross overreach of the federal government. The irony.
Yeah.
The irony of this dude who is literally attacking these individual salaries for just following, popular medical guidance, what they should be doing to, keep kids alive.
That's anti-American, brother.
Oh,
Anti-American,
right.
brother.
Right.
COVID's not real.
I'm sorry, I might as well move to Russia.
But I love my president for creating the vaccine.
I love Ron.
Anti-American, brother.
I love Abbott.
Yeah. So that's kind of the latest on COVID-19. Start thinking about getting a booster shot. You can calculate when you got your second dose and figure out what 8 months from that is.
At 8. You know how to do it.
For a lot of people, I'm thinking they'll be around December time,
Yeah.
November time. That's when it really ramped up.
Our listeners are smart people. They know what's going on.
Yeah. All of our listeners that need to leave a review.
Especially that guy who commented on the TikTok that he subscribed on Google Play.
He's a cool guy. I hope you're listening right now.
Thanks.
I hope you're listening and you share with your friends and family,
Yes.
especially the conservative ones. I want more hate.
I want some smoke.
I want some smoke.
We got some smoke on our California recall video on YouTube.
A lot of smoke.
We got 75 views, which is a lot for us right now.
Yeah. It's our most viewed video.
It's a small drop in the bucket, but a lot for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a bunch of hate comments talking about Larry Elder because we said, I think you said Larry Elder has never said anything intelligent about politics, which is just unequivocally true. Right?
Find me an intelligent take and I will step back my comments.
And this dude came in the comments saying, "What? Have you ever read one of his books?" No.
And I won't.
I never will.
And I really won't. I really will not. You think I would read a Larry Elder book? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Have you read his book?
Oh, no.
Then you're crazy.
No, you just like him because he's black and he reaffirms your biases.
Yep.
That's it.
They love identity politics for as much as they say that they hate it.